Welcome to Get Your Mind Right. Today, we're diving into your questions and insights in our mailbag segment. Thanks to everyone who wrote in. Let's open up the mailbag.
Hey folks, welcome back to Get Your Mind Right, the world's only podcast dedicated to digital marketing and merchant services sales professionals. Well, as you could clearly see by the calendar, it's Friday, and that means only one thing. It's time for the mailbag. Now, as you are keenly aware, this is our first Friday of 2025, and the mailbag this week was filled up with a lot of variations of the same question. John, what can I do to make 2025 my best year ever? So today's for you. If you're ready to level up, grab a pen, open a fresh notebook, and let's get after it. Tip number 1, set ruthlessly clear goals. Now, let's tell you what I mean by that. I hear people say this all the time. I want to close more deals this year. That's not a goal. That's a wish. Okay. Clarity wins. Clarity works. Instead of saying more deals, say something like, I'm going to close 50 new deals at X amount of new margin by December 31, 2025. Now, you see the difference here? It's specific, it's measurable, and most importantly, it's trackable. You can break these goals out month by month, even by week, even down to the day and half day. It's all trackable. You're either on pace or you're off pace. You're getting real-time information and you can take action accordingly. Tip number 2, and that is build an accountability system, because goals without accountability are like treadmills set on pause. You're not going to go anywhere. Pick an accountability partner. And no, it's not your dog or your inbox. It's a person who's going to call you out. It could really be anyone, your manager, a colleague, even a mentor. Every week, do a 15-minute check-in. Are you on track? If not, why not? The pro tip here is use a simple system to track daily progress and activity. It really can be anything. It could be a whiteboard, a journal, or even an app. Just make it visible to yourself and impossible to ignore. When you see progress, you know what's going to happen? Your motivation, it's going to skyrocket. Tip number 3 for 2025 being a banger for you is master new skills. Okay, there's a lot of metaphors here. If you're not swimming, you're sinking. If you're not living, you're dying. Okay, and I can tell you in the sales world, if you're not growing, you are most definitely going backwards. How you do this is identify at least one new skill that's going to make you turn it into a weapon in 2025. It could be any number of things. It could be mastering a new sales technique, getting fluent in data analytics, or upping your negotiation game. Pick one, go deep, and by the end of the year, you'll be that guy that people turn to for that skill. Now, your pro tip on this is really similar to what you do for goals. Just don't say that you're going to do it, but actually set time aside for learning, just like you would for sales calls or other activities that are important in your day-to-day life. An hour a week compounds into 52 hours by the end of the year, and that's going to go a long way towards mastery. If you're looking for ideas, ask your manager, a mentor, or something that someone at work you work closely with. And ask them what skill they'd prioritize if they were in your shoes. Sometimes a second perspective is all you need to do to identify the right path. Boy, tip number 4 applies to all of us, and that is eliminate one bad habit. Because let's face it, everyone, and I mean everyone on the planet, has bad habits that drag them down. It's not always about adding more, and sometimes it's just about subtracting. It may be overthinking decisions, or doom scrolling social media, or hitting the snooze button 5 times every morning. The objective here is to pick one of these bad habits out, identify it, crush it relentlessly. Now, your pro tip on this is very straightforward. Track these wins. Every day you go without that bad habit, mark it down. The streak mentality works. No one wants to break the streak. You might even pair this with a reward system. If you've gone 30 days without a bad habit, treat yourself to something meaningful. Positive reinforcement works. Number 5, operate with urgency, not panic. If 2024 taught us anything, it's that waiting does not win. But let's be very clear here. Urgency does not equal panic. It's about focus and intentionality. Every day you ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do today that's going to move me closer to my goals? Do that first before the whirlwind of email and fires. Now, your pro tip here is employ the 3-2-1 rule. Write down 3 key actions for the day, 2 people you have to contact, and a big task you must finish. This very simple approach keeps you on track and clear-headed. It's simple, it's effective, and it eliminates decision fatigue first thing in the morning. Now, my last tip here is a big one, a big whammy. And that is make reflection a habit. Because growth isn't just about action, it's about learning. Schedule 30 minutes for some you time at the end of each month to reflect. Ask yourself what worked, what didn't work, what's next. Writing down these insights is going to reveal patterns and help you adjust much quicker. Reflection is not a luxury. It's a cheat code for rapid improvement. So to wrap today here, and I want to be very clear on this, 2025 has to be an intentional year for you. It's not going to be your year just by showing up or by accident. It's going to be your year because you're intentional, because you're focused, and because you're willing to do this uncomfortable work. Write your goals, set your accountability, build your skills, cut out the bad habits, act with urgency. You have the tools. Now it's time to use them. Hey, we're in 2025. We've already got a couple of days of the new year behind us. So let's hit the rest of the year with momentum, energy, and purpose. I'll see you back here bright and early on Monday morning. Have a great weekend and keep your mind right.